What's up, homos and homies, trannies, everybody, you're all welcome. Shut the fuck up, bros. Geff and Christian's back for the beach. It's in the face, and we have another watch review. Geff slapping some long twerps. This time it's Heinbeisner, and we're gonna get into this one. Love you all, bros, and max respect, feathers for everyone. We're gonna make it, bro. So this time we've got a much promised and much anticipated Seiko by all my one subscribers, and it is an SLA. And this time, look at this package that it comes in. You know it's something special when it comes in a different kind of box, and this one is a different box, and inside this box is this, the Seiko SLA065, and let's take him off the cushion for a closer look. Oh look, what is this in the box? Oh, it's the eBay authentication sticker, and also we have the Prospex hang tag, which is in lovely cardboard, as Seiko does, and it explains the reference number, and that's all you're going to get. So there we go, Prospex limited edition, very nice. It is a nice box from Seiko. And here's the twerp. Look at that, and it is yet another reinterpretation or recreation of the Seiko 6217 or the 62 MAS automatic self-data, Seiko's first dive watch from 1965 with its skin diver case. The original was a 37mm watch with 18,000 vibrations per hour, non-hacking automatic movement, and 150 meters of water resistance. This one has been upgraded somewhat, and it is, as you can see, this is almost brand new. So this is a Mr. June watch. Thank you, Mr. June. What's up, Bob? Stay freaky. And we have another Mr. June purchase. So this watch costs in the USA $2,900 retail as far as Seiko is concerned, and in the UK we have a retail of £2,670, which is quite absurd. It's not worth that much money. But let's Mr. June price for this twerp was £1,350 on eBay in this condition, brand fucking new, bros. Shut the fuck up, it's so freaky. So it is worth that, and I would say it's worth $1,350 to $1,650 on eBay, and you can find them like this, or even if they have been used, it's still worth it. So we're going to have the pleasure of taking off the sticker. There it goes. Ooh, look at that. Look at this. It's a limited edition, numbered. It's a 1,300 piece limited. There's no date of manufacture, I notice, on this watch. You get the tsunami wave and etc. And anyway, stop talking shit. Let's try to do this on camera. I should have done it before, but Mr. June insisted that I do it on camera, so that's what I'm going to try and do. I don't know how I'm going to get this off. Let's get it off. There it goes. Beautiful. Pin buckle, buckle and tang, all high polish, very nice. And this little, it's a very slim keeper here, slimmer than the one on the U mirror. And how do we get him off? Let's take him off. There he goes. Oh yeah. And that means for the first time, I've had this watch since yesterday, I can actually try it on, which is actually rather lovely. I had to put it on a Blue Tropic just to wear it. Now, there it is. I don't know why my phone isn't focusing today. There it is on a 7.5 inch wrist, 19 centimeters. This is the Astrolabe. Now, what is an Astrolabe? Well, that's quite an interesting question. An astrolabe, or astrolabes, are ancient astronomical instruments that were used in classical antiquity and in the Islamic Golden Age. And as you can see, there it is on the dial. That's the Astrolabe. Busy and unwelcome. But what was it? Well, it was invented by a man named Apollonius around 200 or something BC or something like that in ancient Greece. And it was perfected much later on in the Islamic world of the medieval times. Used for timekeeping, astronomy, and navigation and determining latitude on land or at sea. Why it's on the dial of this Seiko, I will never know. And although it excellently executed and extremely well done, I would have preferred it not to be present. This is also a Save the Ocean Seiko. It doesn't say it, but it's a Save the Ocean. And what does Save the Ocean mean? Well, Save the Ocean is a certain number of Seiko releases that it's a campaign that sees a portion of the proceeds of any of the aforementioned watches being contributed to marine conservation. Probably not a lot of the proceeds, but it is quite good. Oh no, there's a bit of dirt on there. Anyway, this Astrolabe, it is. Let's talk about the dimensions here. It might look familiar. And what's the difference here? You've got the Seiko 62 mass Reinterpretations, which this is one of, and so is its little friend over here, Mr. SPB143. These are the Reinterpretations. And then you have the recreations, of which there were many. I will list them now. In 2017, Seiko released the SLA065 with 2,000 pieces. It's a perfect recreation of the original with an 8L movement. And then we had the SPB051 in the same year with a 6R15 movement, which looked pretty shit if you ask me. No offense to anyone who bought that one. And then you got the SLA037, which was an 1100 piece limited edition with an 8L55 movement, which is a high beat movement at 36,000 VPH. Very nice. And then you had the SLA043 with 1700 pieces with its blue second hand, an 8L35 movement. Then you had this very rare SPDX041 Beams edition, which had 300 pieces and it has an 8L35. You had the SPB143 here, which was the reinterpretation. So the reinterpretations are not exact replicas of the 6215. Then you have the SLA065, which is this, the Astrolabe, which is basically a replica of the 143. Same exact case and dimensions, other than an upgraded movement, Zarasu polishing, etc., and no bracelet, and a much higher price, 3 times higher. And the latest iteration, which hasn't been released yet, but it's being lauded at the moment around YouTube, which is the SJE093, with a new caliber from Seiko called the 6L37, which is a new caliber, 45-hour power reserve, 28.8, and this one's going to cost £3,700 with 1,965 pieces of limitation. So what I could say to summarize that is that all the recreation watches, all the literal doppelgangers of the 6215 are all limited, all high beat or 8L movements, and are all priced between £3,000 and £6,000. So they're extremely expensive, impossible to get, and they're fucking awesome. But you know, I can't afford them, and neither can Mr. June. So this is sort of what we can get. You can either get one of these, or one of its dial variants, or this one, and there's a gold one and a black one. So, you know, if you have £1,000 to £3,000, you can get these. If you have £3,000 to £6,000, you can probably get one of the recreations. And now we've got that out of the way, we can get into the case diameter. So I personally measured this beautiful Astrolabe twerp, and it has a 41.3mm case, a 13.3mm height with this. It's a double domed sapphire here. It's double domed, so it sticks up a bit, and we have a 47.4 lug to lug, bros. That's what's up, bros. So shut the fuck up about it. And then we got 20mm lugs, 200m water resistant, 8L35, 50 hour power reserve, 28.8 VPH. The total weight on this rather disappointing Plastikowy Pasek is 111 grams. We have Deer Shield coating, Seiko's proprietary steel hardening on this 316L, takes it up to about 500 Vickers. It's a very comfortable, very wearable watch for all wrist sizes, I would say down to 7 inches and even below 7 inches. I mean, you could see it on my 7.5 inch wrist here. Get some perspective here. It's hard to, there we go. It's not big. It's a great, beautiful piece. So it's an SLA Seiko, and that means you're at the top of the line for normal Seiko. So LX is being the next step up. LX watches come with spring drive movements, and the LX line does have more modern sort of angular designs, and you won't find these classic styles of the SLA line. So this is the top tier of Seiko, below LX and GS. You have a beautiful Sunray blue dial. Minute track is in the rehaul, which is very nice. And you get these elongated pressed baton indices with stick hands, exactly the same as the 143, beveled, brushed and polished, fully loomed. And this rather interesting new Lume, which is a sort of yellowy formula, a bit different than the 143 here. You can see it. I just thought you might like to see something in the background, so I've got all tiers of movement here. I've got SLA, I've got 8L, SPB, we've got a 6R, SRP, we've got a 4R, and then here's the old SKX. It's everything you got from Seiko there. I thought that'd be a bit of a visual interest for my bros. But the beige! Other than the Sunray dial, the case here is really very nice. Look at this case. We have a radial brushwork on the top of the case, and then you have this lovely Zaratsu polished bevel on the transition between the upper case and the mid case. On the mid case you have straight brushwork, and then you have a beautifully Zaratsu polished undercut here, which I did polish, but now I'm going to have to polish again. It is, here we have Zaratsu, and here we have Zaratsu, which is the hand polishing technique perfected by small Japanese midgetal artisans in the Shinjuku Ishii watch studio, where incidentally this 8L35 movement is manufactured by hand. It's a rhodium plated movement with MEMS technology, which I won't explain because I've done it before, but it's a great movement. Unfortunately it's not regulated, but all of the 4 SLAs that I've handled run within COSC, which is to say that all of them are running, none of them at a minus, and all of them at less than +5. People slag these off saying they're not regulated, but I've never seen one that runs any worse than COSC, so I know it's possible. It's a magnificent case. You've got a large unsigned crown. Would have been nice to see Seiko on the crown, or the S, but it's a 6.2mm crown. Great winding action. Lume sliver at 3. We've got a beautiful date wheel there. It's a little beveling, and it's a silvery deal. And we've got the Lume pip here, and this interesting colour on the bezel. Now the bezel is not ceramic. This is, what is it? It's a titanium carbon coating over stainless steel. And to be fair to it, I mean, this one is ceramic. This one actually I find they look better. The newer mirror that I reviewed a couple of weeks ago has the same thing going on. This is a ceramic bezel, and all that's very nice. I find these play with the light more, and they're just as hard, and they look great. So that's what you get there. The strap here is slightly disappointing to me. There's no bracelet on this watch, of course. You've got a nice keeper signed, and it's all very good. Bit thin, but the strap is quite floppy. It's a rubber, silicone affair. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's not that. It's very thin, and it doesn't feel great. You could change it out. I'll put him back on. For the beach. I hope you're all doing well, bros. So, yeah, slightly disappointing, no bracelet. Is it 3 times better than its inferior doppelganger? Well, I don't think that it is. I mean, who pays retail for a Seiko luxury watch? Nobody does. But, you know, these two are almost identical, and the price difference, this is about £1,000, this is 670, so 2,700 with no bracelet. Yes, this one is a 6-hour movement, which is a shitter movement, and this one's running about -8 seconds a day. But, you know, really, who wears it for more than a day anyway? Not worth the money at retail, in my opinion. But a Mr. June price of £1,350, it is well worth it, and then some. And I think that's more or less it. I mean, I covered most of the things I wanted to cover. It is something else. I mean, it's very sporty. It's not an exact 6215 recreation. It's a reinterpretation. So it's very much the same as its little brother here, which we'll do a VS comparison tomorrow. But would I buy it? I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy it for the money, but I would buy it for $1,350. It is extremely interesting visually, very comfortable. This one's keeping about +2, +3, as they usually do. The bezel action is for the beach. It's not Marine Master, but it's not SPB. It's somewhere in the middle. And the Lume is the same. It's not Marine Master Lume, but it's not SPB Lume. The only thing I just don't really like, and I've got to be honest about it, and it's done very well, is this Astrolabe dial. I just don't want it to be there. I just like a normal dial. Traditional, but it is there. It's not going away. And this one is... Yeah, this is very interesting. There is no date of manufacture. Normally I like to do the DOM. But that's what's up, bros. We got it there. Let's see him next to his SLA brethren. There we go. That's how he sizes up. I think a great comparison will be with the SKX. There you go. It's a 41.3, but the only difference here being that the case is actually a 40, but the bezel is protruding over the case here. So it wears bigger than it is. It's got a big dial, but yeah, it's an SKX comparable twap. That's it, bros. Getting's finished. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay freaky. Stay at the beach. Never give up. Keep all your feathers retarded, and I wish you all the very best of luck in whatever it is you choose to do in the coming weeks. I don't think, other than tomorrow's review, there won't be many more to come. So, love you, bros. Appreciate you, bros. Stay freaky for the beach.